which is unusual. That particular property is called anomalous behavior of water. So basically, when we talk about the normal condition of water molecules, what will going to happen if we talk about normal condition? For example, if we increase the temperature of water molecules, right, we are increasing the temperature of water molecules. In this condition, if we increase the temperature of water molecule, then this particular water molecule start expanding, because we have increased the temperature, and this temperature makes these water molecules to expand. This is normal condition. And in the reverse condition, when we decrease the temperature, okay, when we decrease the temperature of water molecules, they start the process of contraction. This is the condition when there will be normal property of water. When there is normal condition, or we are having temperature 27 to 30 degrees centigrade, and we are decreasing that particular temperature, because of the decrease of temperature, it will start contraction process. So this is basically contraction of water molecule, and this water molecule will start contracting. Why? Because we have decreased the temperature. But in reverse of this normal condition, what happens, that the water molecules show a behavior, unusual behavior. Okay, anomalous means unusual behavior, unusual behavior. So unusual behavior of water molecule happens at 4 degrees centigrade basically. As we have mentioned the normal condition over here, but when we decrease the temperature up to 4 degrees centigrade, then water shows a property, very unusual property, that is called anomalous behavior of water. What happens in this unusual property is like, see, we have said already that when we increase temperature, the water molecules will expand. When we decrease the temperature, water molecules will contract, right? But when the temperature will decrease up to 4 degrees centigrade, then instead of the contraction of water molecule, the water molecule starts expanding. Water molecule will start expanding. Okay, so we will understand the reason behind why this anomalous behavior happens in water. Okay, and other thing that we must know about water molecules in liquid form, right, in liquid form, is they, they make bonds, and those particular bonds are specifically hydrogen bonds. These hydrogen bonds constantly form and they break. Okay, this is, a very normal process that happens at liquid state. But when we freeze water molecules, when they will going to freeze when they reach the decreased temperature, and that temperature is 4 degrees centigrade, and then we will decrease it to the 0 degrees centigrade. When we decrease the temperature towards 0 degrees centigrade, it will show an anomalous condition. Okay, as we have mentioned before as well, that at 4 degrees centigrade, instead of contraction, it is showing expansion process. So what happens basically, when the molecule reaches 4 degrees centigrade, okay, they show a particular arrangement. When they, when they are at the level of ice, they show a particular arrangement. They arrange, the water molecules arrange themselves into a specific hexagonal structure called rigid lattice. As we can see in this particular diagram, this is the condition when the water molecule decreases its temperature, right? And when we decreased the temperature of water molecule, then what happens, it shows expansion. Why? Because it perform a particular arrangement, and that particular arrangement is called hexagonal rigid lattice. As we can see over here, that the water molecules arranged themselves into a particular shape, and that shape is hexagonal structure. So this hexagonal structure will be formed because of the decrease in the temperature, which is 4 degrees centigrade, and it will lower towards the 0 degree centigrade, and it will form ice condition. Okay, now we can see that the arrangement of water molecules make spaces, in the center of water molecule. So this central molecule where the uh, a rigid lattice has formed, right? There is space inside it, and this space has made because of the arrangement of water molecules at 4 degrees centigrade and then at lower 0 degree centigrade. Now there will be, a phenomenon called increase in volume. Okay, so because of this space, in between these rigid lattice, hexagonal rigid lattice, the water molecules will increases its volume. Because of the increase in its volume, we will say the water molecules start expanding. This is actually unusual. It never happens at liquid temperature, as we can see over here that bonds are forming, bonds are breaking. But when it will reach towards ice condition, you may say after 4 degrees centigrade, lowering the temperature, there will be some specific arrangements will going to happen, and those arrangements are called rigid lattice, or you may say hexagonal rigid lattice. Because of these rigid lattice, there will be some open spaces will going to form in between these water molecules. That's why there will be increase in volume specifically. So now we can see that the volume increases. Okay, volume increases. That's why we say that this is a condition which is unusual, which is anomalous condition. So water molecules move further apart. Why they move further apart? To form a particular arrangement, and that particular arrangement is called a sort of crystal lattice, as I'm repeating again and again, and that is actually a rigid lattice. So this is why we say that when we freeze water molecule, it expands, which is an anomalous behavior. So strong stable bonds will going to form. Okay, these bonds will be stable. These bonds will be stable. Because of the stable bonds, there will be again the same thing is there, that the rigid lattice will going to form. Okay, although we know that the hydrogen bonds are not that much strong, right? Hydrogen bonds are weak bonds, as we can see over here in this line, that although individual hydrogen bonds are weak, but their combined effect show a particular crystal lattice, or you may say solid like structure, and that is actually ice. So this is all about anomalous behavior of water.